Anyway, now that the audio test is over, my name is Rick Harrison, and this is my pawn shop, Corbin. You're my pawn shop, apparently, Corbin.
I've got heartaches by the number, got troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more.
As many of you may know, this is the first shit show in like a year that we've done together. I did upload one.
I wonder why it's been that long.
That's all on me, but you know. But I did also upload one that we recorded like 2 years ago. I uploaded that like earlier this year. If you remember that.
Did you lose it?
And it's just one that I forgot that I had, and then I uploaded. It was the Breaking Bad one that I uploaded like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And then I did another shit show with some of my friends here a couple months ago as well. Like, this feels like the first real one in a while. At least the first real one with the original cast returning. You know, it's a cast reunion with the original cast starring William Shatner. But yeah, you got any topics you want to talk about today?
That was a thing, wasn't it? On
yes.
Facebook, we said that was your thing.
Yeah,
I kept saying topic for some reason.
Yeah, it was because of the autocomplete.
I pressed the middle button.
Yeah, it was the autocomplete. The autocomplete would just type out the word topic a lot for some reason.
And then we also said to be fair a lot, like pretentious a-holes.
I mean, to be fair...
What about that airline food?
What's the deal with it?
What's the deal with airline food? I played Morrowind, and I thought it was pretty good.
Well, you have a one-up on me in the fact that you've actually beat it.
Yeah, it was easy, though, because it's super easy to level yourself up in that game. I don't know why you said it was hard.
Well, no, I never said it was hard. I said I didn't used to know how when I was younger.
Oh, I just said, like, you told me to play it on the easiest difficulty. I played it on the hardest difficulty.
Well, the reason I said that is because the enemies can kill you really quickly.
If you're an idiot, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's how it is.
If I ever do a playthrough, it's going to be on the hardest difficulty.
Okay. Well, you don't have a capture card, right?
Yeah, I don't have a capture card. I don't know how that works. I was waiting to talk to you again before I ever got one.
Well, I mean,
you can talk to me how to figure it out.
If you want to use a good capture card, you do need a computer for it. If you have a good computer, you can just get like an Elgato and hook it up. That's what I use.
Do you think my first playthrough should be Morrowind, GTA Vice City, or Fallout 3?
Yes.
Any of those are fine?
Yeah, that's fine. I'd say Morrowind would be the most interesting to me out of those three, but I don't know about you.
You want to hear my ranking of the Grand Theft Auto games now?
Sure.
First, my favorite one's Vice City now. That one's awesome. I love the aesthetics, and I like the characters, and the driving doesn't suck. And the car explosions are fun. I think it's a pretty good game. And then, second best for me is GTA 4. I don't know why you don't like that one. It has an amazing story and amazing characters.
I'll tell you exactly why I hate GTA 4, and it's one very, very specific reason. I cannot drive from one location to another without crashing. It is physically impossible for me. I slide all over the place.
What's crazy, I drive best in that game.
Yeah, GTA 4, I can't control the damn cars. They slide all over the goddamn place.
It's easy for me.
I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of the way we play or something. I don't know. Like, I've never been able to progress.
I actually really like the driving in GTA 4 because... For me, it was less slidey than GTA 5. GTA 5, I can't control the car at all, but in that game...
That's funny, because GTA 5 has my favorite driving.
Yeah, GTA 5, I can't play at all, really, with the driving.
Yeah, that's how I am with...
the game, it's just really hard for me.
That's how I am with 4, though. I can't, like... There was a mission, I had to go from one end of Liberty City to the other, but I wasn't timed. So I just got out of the car and ran from one end of the city to the other. Because I'm like, I can't do this driving. Like, I only got, like, 2 or 3 missions into the game
Also,
at
it's
best.
super easy to escape the police in that game, because all you have to do is escape the area.
I do like GTA 4 is the only one that lets you, like, shoot up the hospital, though.
Oh, yeah, I did that all the time when I played, because it's actually the first Grand Theft Auto game I ever played, because my older brother Alex let me play it. So the third best for me is Grand Theft Auto 5, and then Fourth is San Andreas. I don't know why San Andreas is everybody's favorite. I like the dialogue. I think the dialogue's the best, and I like that your character can get buff or fat. But that's the only really things I would say is better about it than the other games. Other than the music. The music's pretty good too.
I don't know. But San Andreas, I think San Andreas is number one my favorite map. Like, not necessarily San Andreas the game, but both San Andreas and 5. I like the area of San Andreas.
I think it's crazy that people don't like Vice City more than San Andreas.
I like Vice City. I'm not as big of a fan of the big city as I am like the big kind of rural areas of San Andreas.
Well, living in the area I live in, I just like big city kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm completely miserable where I'm at. But
you a city slicker there, boy?
Nothing to do. There's nothing to do out here.
So do you live in a rural area, or are you a city slicker?
I guess you would say it's a rural area.
Or is it more of a suburban area?
My area is mostly farms and
that's rural, yeah.
And woods and stuff.
Yeah, that's rural.
Okay. So yeah, that's the kind of area I live in. There's not a lot to do. I like going out to Pennsylvania because I can walk to any place I want to go. There's a skate park, there's a playground, there's a Walmart I could walk to. I can walk to any restaurant I want. But around here, you can't walk to anything.
Well, here's the thing. I love rural areas.
It takes a mile to get to the neighbor. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'd like that. I like living in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I don't live in the middle of nowhere. I live in the suburbs, but
I'm a very ironically I'm a people person.
I'm absolutely not.
Be around people. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't talk to people, and it hurts physically to be around people, but I'm a people person.
You're a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
Oh my god. My Goosebumps VHS tapes are dusty. I wonder why. You'd think I'd be using them all the time.
Yeah. Goosebumps VHS tapes are, of course, the one media form that I know that you constantly talk about, how you watch every single day, 3 times a day.
But, yeah, what do you think of my Goosebumps VHS tapes? I got the Haunted Mask, and I got the basement one. I don't know what that
Stay out of the basement.
Yeah. That's the one where the dad's a plant.
Yeah, I know. I've seen every episode. I don't remember the Reality Police one you remember.
These are my 2 favorite episodes. You don't remember? How do you not remember the Reality Police one? I remember that one because it was played way too frequently, all the time. Every time they play Goosebumps, they play that episode, and it was stupid because nothing scary happens. It's just kind of funny. Where these 2 guys that are dressed up like the Men in Black, one's black and one's white, literally, and they're following this kid around. This poor kid who just wants to live like an adult. They're like, that's not reality, Max. You gotta live in reality. And they torture this poor soul.
Oh! That is actually kind of ringing a bell.
Yeah, and then at the end, he's finally, learned his lesson. He's like, I'll just live in boring reality. And they're like, boring! And then they punish him again. And it's like, just leave the guy alone.
An episode I really like is One Day at Horrorland, Part 2, specifically.
I like both parts equally.
Wait,
no, part 2 is funnier. Part 2 is way better because it's
it's the game show, yeah.
Yeah, and then it ends, with them dying, I think.
No, it ends on a literal cliffhanger where they're hanging on the edge of a cliff, and then the game show host is like, now that's what I call a cliffhanger.
Yeah, but as a kid, I always took that as they died. And
they did. They absolutely did. The book actually makes it clear that if you read the book, they literally die in the book.
That's awesome, though, for a kid's horror show.
Yeah.
I think it's great. That's why Haunting Hour, I think, is better than Goosebumps, because Haunting Hour doesn't have to deal with all the stupid censorship that Goosebumps did.
Yeah.
Because Haunting Hour is aimed for older kids, younger teens, and it gets away with a lot more. I suggest watching that.
I've seen the Haunting Hour, the original, hour-long special, the one with the evil thing trademark.
Yeah, where that's the...
It's like the Bye-Bye Man. Don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it.
You can't think about it. But I think instead of, don't say it, don't think it, they're just don't think about it.
Yeah, I know. I was just being facetious. The Bye-Bye Man is a terrible movie.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the Haunting Hour movie is actually a good movie.
You know what movie a lot of people say is good, but I would argue is fucking terrible?
What?
You ever seen that movie called It Follows? It's like a horror movie.
I watched it because I heard so many good things about it, and I was like, yeah, the idea I think is interesting, but I think they should have done it as more of a comedic thing than because it takes itself.
On this there we go. Now it's working. Okay, got the recording working again. The audio was being really fucking weird, but it's working again. So as I was saying, It Follows. I couldn't take it seriously because it's like it's like a sexually transmitted thing that follows you around, and you just gotta like fuck someone and it'll follow them instead.
Yeah, it's so. I thought it would work as like a full moon type of movie where it's like goofier.
Uh-huh.
As like a parody of horror movies, because it's like, oh, if they have sex, they get killed because sex is wrong.
Yeah, like if it was like Trauma or something, I would have been okay with it, but
yeah, that's what I meant. Like Trauma like makes good so bad they're good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Full Moon makes so bad they're bad movies, but I still prefer Full Moon just because I really like how awful they are.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any like actual full moon ones. Like I know you told me Troll 2 is kind of full moon, so if you count that, so.
You've seen Killjoy.
Oh, that's right, I have seen Killjoy. Hey, Boneheads, it's Miller time.
He says that a lot, doesn't he?
They say it like 3 times in the movie.
In Killjoy, the third one is the best one from my memory, because the first 2 are like horribly made, but the third one actually like they put effort into making it.
I've only seen the first one.
The first one, although the third one gets rid of like the gangster's premise.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, because I think like that was kind of like the appeal of Killjoy was he was a gangster killing clown. But they get rid of that idea later on, and he's just a killer clown. Look out, Pennywise! Am I right?
So I rewatched Killer Clowns from Outer Space the other day.
Yeah.
I forgot about the big clown at the end.
Yeah, Clownzilla.
Yeah, is that what they call it?
That's the nickname that I've heard of him.
Oh.
What did you think of my Killer Clowns from Outer Space versus
Terrifier?
Yeah, what did you think of that video?
I thought it was pretty good. I've never seen Terrifier though.
Because when I watched both movies, I kind of liked that in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, them being a clown was like actually used. Like they actually do like clown stuff. But in Terrifier, it's scary because he doesn't act like a clown.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is
Terrifier,
like
he's a mime, if anything. I don't know why he's called a clown.
Well, mimes and clowns are very similar.
Yeah, but he's like he doesn't talk at all, and he's black and white. He has to be a mime. But he does clown stuff, so like it's not like he uses fake stuff that isn't there. Like he actually uses like items.
Yeah, so I guess that's why he's a clown.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, literally the description on Wikipedia calls him a mime-type clown, so.
Yeah, he's a mime-type clown.
Yeah, he's a dual-type Pokemon, a mime-type clown.
Mr. Mime. He's a looker, ain't he?
You think Ash's mom has her Mr. Mime service him or service her?
I don't think that, no.
Oh, okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Corbin does not think that Mr. Mime smashes Ash's mom.
Do you think Ash smashes Ash's mom?
Absolutely. Hey, I played this one Newgrounds game once.
I played Outer Worlds for 5 minutes.
Outer Worlds. That rings a bell. What is it again? Is it an RPG?
Fallout in Space. Fallout in Space.
Okay.
I was upset because there's tons of like hot women in the game, but you can't date them.
No smash?
So, that's actually something that disappoints me is because in Fallout 4 they finally made relationships a thing, but the creators of Outer Worlds who made Fallout New Vegas like hate the idea of relationships in games because they think it's distracting, but it's like, you're a decision-based game. How is having more decisions a bad thing?
Yeah, for real.
I hate that so much because it to say something's distracting, so don't put it in a game. It's like, just put more in a game. Like, why would you not put more in a game?
Yeah, I don't know. That's dumb. You know, I've played a lot of porn games on Newgrounds.
I haven't.
Yeah, so you want?
You need to use both hands.
Yeah, I feel you. But a lot of them are like visual novels and stuff. But anyway, there was something I was going to tell you. It's really funny, and I'm debating whether I'm going to leave this in when I say it. We'll see. But like, there's a lot of them like, so like a lot of them fund themselves through Patreon, right?
Yeah.
And they have the the plots will be like they'll be like incest games, but like Patreon has a rule against incest. So, like, the way they get around it is they replace all of, like, the family names with, like, other things. So, like, instead of saying it's your daughter, it'll say it's your childhood friend. And instead of calling you daddy, she'll call you buddy. And instead of saying it's, like, your, like, they'll use terms like bud, friend, and pal. Instead of, like, brother, sister, mother, father, that kind of thing. So, like, I actually referenced that in a Sergeant Friends episode in Niles Gets Kicked Out. I had him said, haven't I been a good bud, friend, and pal? Like, it was a reference, because that's specifically a line from one of those Newgrounds porn games where there's literally a line where the mom character says, I've been a terrible bud, friend, and pal, but she's saying she's been a terrible mom, sister, and aunt, but she's saying bud, friend, and pal instead.
Well, I think the first Spider-Man game is better than Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire games.
I don't know. I haven't played either of those enough. I've played the PS1 Spider-Man games a lot more.
I have too. I like the PS1 Spider-Man game shaped who I am as a person.
Yeah, Monster Rock is cool.
Yeah, Monster Rock was freaking... I actually think I lied about that game. I think I said that I beat it, but I don't think I ever actually got past Monster Rock.
I beat it like 3 times.
Monster Rock I couldn't get past as a kid, I don't think. Or at least it was really hard for me, but I don't know if I ever beat it. That narrow hallway thing, not narrow hallway, but like just all the turns in the hallway are freaking confusing, and I can't do it.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
I'd probably do it now, but I.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I beat the game like 3 times, so I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. But
because you're a bad gamer.
Yes.
When you first did your Fallout 3 playthrough, it was hilarious. You are not good at that game.
Yeah, no, I'm not good at Fallout 3.
You're getting annihilated by raiders.
Sexually.
You know what's terrifying about raiders, though, is in real life they'd totally be rapists.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, haven't you ever, like, that's the thing about, like, Violence Jack and, like, Fist of the North Star. They actually, like, Fist of the North Star has it severely toned down. Violence Jack doesn't. Violence Jack is pretty explicit with the fact that they're rapists, but... Like, you should see some of the shit in the manga, dude. Like, the evil town in the manga is more graphic than it is in the OVA.
I got a question I need to ask you, though.
Okay.
Do you think the content I make now is better than the content I used to make?
Yes.
By how much?
That's debatable. I think it's better because, I'm gonna be honest, like, a lot of your older reviews, some of them could be funny, but then the ones where you try too hard to be funny, like a certain Child's Play review... were not good.
I hate that video so much. It's
I know.
The worst video I ever made. That's literally the worst video I ever made. I hate it.
I'm going to do a response to it at some point. I have to.
You have to specify that I hate it, though. Don't make people think that I think it's a good video.
Or I'll tell them it's your favorite video you've made. And that you asked me to tell you asked me to do a response to tell you just how wonderful it was.
Yeah, you should do that in the beginning of the video. You can say, Rabbit Waffles wanted me to review this video because he thinks it's the best video he's ever made.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another really bad video I've done, but I think that one kind of takes the cake altogether.
Yeah.
I think that one kind of beats them all.
Here's the thing. I think your Mike Matei video is good, but I understand why you don't like the fact that it's currently your most viewed video.
It's kind of a cringy video to have to be your most popular, and I don't talk a lot in it. I don't know. It's just kind of... Also, I talk about Mike Matei's penis. I don't think that's something that needs to be my favorite video.
Hey man, Mike Matei got that big meat. Like, that was like a meme. That was a meme on the Cinemassacre channel for a while in the chats.
Also, I think it's stupid that people say definitively that he faked it. Like, it's not definitive that he faked it. It's just a possibility. Like, he could have, but there's no way that you could know for sure if he did or didn't. It's just that there's a technique that he could have done.
You know what, You know that new Mortal Kombat movie? I've heard that it's gonna have some like woke bullshit in it, so I don't think I'm gonna see it.
I'm not gonna. I've been thinking about it, Mortal Kombat 11, and I don't want to buy it. Not just because of the stupid. It's up to me to make the world woke crap, but also because
I don't want to wait centuries for people to become woke when I can speed things up.
Yeah. Well, I don't like that Mortal Kombat is sort of going down a less horror thing. Like, it's going more action, less horror.
Has Mortal Kombat ever been horror?
Huh?
Has Mortal Kombat ever been horror?
Oh my god, yeah, I always thought of it as a horror action, but that could be just because my introduction was Deception and Armageddon, and then they started adding horror movie characters, but now it seems like they're just going complete action, and I don't like the style of it anymore.
I don't know, I've never viewed Mortal Kombat as horror, and Deception is my favorite one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you saying because of, like, when you go to, like...
There's a lot of, like, scary-looking characters.
Yeah, and I was gonna say...
They always have, like, a red or blue tint, like horror movies do.
Well, and I was gonna say, when you go to, like, Chaos Realm, there's, like, all those people that talk backwards and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's my favorite part. When I've been playing that, I finally beat the story, The Deception.
Oh, I've beat it many times.
Yeah, and I defeated the giant bat guy, I forget his name, as Shujinko.
You mean Onaga? Like the Dragon King Onaga?
Yeah, Onaga. Shujinko!
Yeah.
I like that. That part's iconic to me, though, the part where Go Raicho's training you.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that, like, to actually beat the game, you have to complete Conquest and then do the arcade tower as Shujinko.
Yeah. Do you have to do that with Armageddon?
No.
Oh.
Armageddon literally has the Conquest mode end with you fighting Blaze.
That's disappointing.
I could be wrong. It's been years since I played through Armageddon.
Armageddon, I can't beat the story because I get to this, like, weird, abominable snowman-looking mofo, and I can't get past him.
I've beaten Armageddon quite a few times as well.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the two biggest accomplishments that I've made this year. Beating Mortal Kombat Deception and beating Morrowind. I can't beat Vice City, though. That game's freaking hard.
You know, in Mortal Kombat Deception, most of the enemies are fairly easy, but then you get a few of them that are pretty tough. Like Monster, like the Scorpion Elder God Champion guy. I remember the first time I played the game, he was a pain in the ass.
In Mortal Kombat Deception, I don't do any of, like, the fighting the random people. I don't fight any of the characters that I don't need to fight to progress the story.
Do you do any of the other side quests?
No. Well, no, I did stuff for people. Like, if somebody says, go find this, I'm like, alright, I'll
No,
go.
because I love those side quests. Those side quests are fun.
I think they're kind of distracting, though, because I have to go all the way to a certain area, and I gotta look everywhere for what they want me to find.
Well, like one of my favorite ones is in, like, the first level, where this little kid's like, I ate some bad kimchi, can you get my medicine? And then if you just don't, he just dies, and then you have to try again the next day.
The only thing one thing I did was I unlocked Zombie Liu Kang.
Yeah, that's, I never did that, actually.
I just looked up how to do it.
Yeah.
And they said you gotta look for him in a certain area, so I was like, alright, I'll go do that.
But also, with, or maybe I did at one point. I don't think I did, though. But another one, there's this side quest in like, when you're in the village in Earthrealm, where this lady's like, can you help me find my lost dog? And then you ask around the town about it, and this guy's like, oh, that was somebody's pet. I took it to the butcher and had it cut up, and I ate part of it. Here's what's left. And then he gives you the dog meat. And then you take it back to the lady, and at first she's sad, and she's like, oh, well, I'll make the best of it. Do you want to come back later for some stew?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I told you, right, that in Fallout 3, I killed a man's dog in front of him, ate the dog meat, then killed the man, cut him into pieces, and then I took his leg for like a full mile away.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Good time.
Oh yeah, a good time was had by all. I'm pooped.
A good time was had by all. I'm pooped. What's that from?
You should know. Well, Seymour, I made it, despite your directions. Ah, Superintendent Chalmers, welcome.
Oh, yeah,
I hope you're prepared
yeah.
for an unforgettable luncheon.
I read that video.
Oh, ye gods, my roast is ruined.
I knew that I said it, but
Yeah.
I didn't know it was from that.
Well, but what if I were to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking? Delightfully devilish, Seymour.
Dude, I read that terribly. You cut it out like a bunch of me not knowing how to read it.
Yeah, I had to edit it down severely. I have the entire thing memorized. I can recite it from memory. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Dad.
I'm okay, Dad.
Okay, Dad.
You know, I rewatched...
Ready now, Dad.
You know, I rewatched the first Predator movie, and I liked it a lot better this... Like, I always liked it, but I had even more enjoyment of it this last time I watched it.
I rewatched the first episode of Breaking Bad, and it's way better than I remember.
Oh, I love the first season of Breaking Bad. I think it's kind of underrated, in all honesty, because a lot of people are like, oh, the show gets...
The first episode, though, when I first watched it, I thought it was boring, and I rewatched the first episode recently. I'm like, man, I used to be stupid. The first episode's awesome and iconic.
Yeah, you change your opinions a lot.
I'm a dummy.
Like, you and your opinions changing is just kind of like a recurring joke, too, because, like, you'll say something to me one time, and then I'll come back to you months later, and you'll have, like, a completely different opinion on it.
That's because I think really hard about everything in my life.
I still think, and I know I use this example a lot, but I think Devilman's, like, the funniest one for me. Because you're just like, I'm not going to get into any of the other stuff. I tried watching the OVAs, and they bored me, and then...
Yeah, it's funny how my opinion on Devilman is still kind of changing, because now I'm at the point where I'm like, Devilman Crybaby's just not good, and then the Devilman OVA is good.
Yeah. Well, that's because Crybaby has a lot of fucking problems.
It's just because they're trying to appeal to millennials and Gen Z and all that.
You know, something that... You know, one of the comments... You remember that Rio video I did? That I try not to talk about it anymore, because I said I'm done with that whole bullshit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, one of the comments I got really pissed me off, because it's like, does Crybaby really make people interpret the series this way? But one of the comments was that it's literally a boys' love series. You missed the point. Like, telling me basically that Devilman is a yaoi series. And I'm like, no, it absolutely is not.
What?
Yeah.
How does he interpret it like that?
A lot of people do, because they tell me that Rio...
You don't even find out that Rio loved him until the end. So
yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I know. But people talk about...
Akira didn't love him. Akira liked Migi.
Yeah.
Miki. Not Migi. Migi's the parasite.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's Miki in both.
Is it? And she says Migi.
She probably just... She says it weird, but it's Miki. Because Miki means right, as in right hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
But, yeah, a lot of people say that. And, like, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Because, like, other people tell me I missed the entire point of the series. As if Rio's love for Akira is literally the entire point of the series. No, it fucking is not.
Most of the series is... Isn't most of the series like Akira fighting demons?
Yeah, Rio is just kind of his asshole friend that's there for a lot of the beginning of the series.
Yeah, but in the manga, Rio's more important than he is.
Well, yeah, he is, but he's still, like, just kind of there a lot of the time in the manga.
Actually, a surprising amount of Devilman Crybaby is pointless sex scenes and nudity.
Yeah. But, like, they took out a lot of the actual plot stuff, you know, like Rio's big revelations.
Isn't there, like, a gay sex scene that's in Crybaby that wasn't even in the manga?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I don't get the point of that.
I guess because they wanted to have the guy eating ass while literally eating the guy's ass.
Yeah, also the scene becoming, like, a rave part... I mean, not rave part, like...
The fact that the Sabbath is all, like, this hip thing that kids are just doing nowadays.
Yeah, when Rio orchestrated, like, the whole thing in the original, right?
Yeah, Rio. It was one thing Rio specifically set up to take Akira to.
Yeah. And then when the... one thing I did, I don't know if you saw it for the split second, it was on my channel, but I edited together Devilman OVA and Devilman Crybaby footage to make a canonically accurate Devilman movie.
I couldn't. Every time I clicked on it, it said this video is blocked due to copyright.
Ah, okay, yeah. I took it down because I couldn't get it right. Which is weird because the entire OVA is on YouTube with no problems.
Mm-hmm.
While putting a single tiny clip of Devilman Crybaby. It's gone. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's stupid because it barely had any Devilman Crybaby footage in it, but it kept getting blocked. That bummed me out quite a bit because I put a lot of effort into editing it.
Well,
I also had to put in, like, little bits of the manga in it, too. So that... Because there were parts in the manga that I felt, like, connected the scenes better. Because there was nothing like them in the either anime.
Well, you know, the thing you know the classic collection is missing, like, 8 pages of the manga?
Is it?
Mm-hmm. There's a scene where where Akira wakes up in the hospital, and there's, like, this whole thing that's just not in the classic collection. I can't remember, but it's, like... It's a point where Ryo and Akira talk in the hospital, and it's just not in the manga. Well, it's not in the classic collection, but it's in the original manga.
I saw the part where they just randomly time travel out of nowhere with no setup.
Yeah, when they just put in Shin Devilman.
Yeah, there's no point for that.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I think it's cool to...
Out of nowhere. It's not even where it would have happened in the manga.
No. And they put them in out of order. Like I said, they put Joan of Arc in Hell first, when Joan of Arc in Hell is the second chapter of Shin Devilman. The first chapter is Late Spring in Vienna. But they put that one second.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like,
it's just not a good edition of Devilman.
No, it's not. But you see, the thing is it's based off the Devilman Deluxe edition in Japan, which did that as well. Where it put Shin Devilman in it. In all honesty, the best version of Devilman is the original print, but that's actually really rare.
Also, I think the reason they put Akira crying on the front is because Devilman Crybaby was popular.
Yeah.
I don't think because that's just what they thought would look good. And also now they have like this I actually think is cool, the logo.
Yeah.
But that's not on any of the original manga, but I think it's still cool.
Yeah.
The covers look good though.
Well, honestly, and I'm glad the release exists. I'll say that at least.
Yeah. You want to know something awkward? I went to BAM and I got this.
Uh-huh.
And I saw these girls buying manga talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I saw these girls who were buying JoJo's Bizarre Adventure mangas, and I went up and I went, Devilman is my favorite manga. And they were like, yeah, okay. And they continued talking and buying the JoJo.
That's really awkward. Why would you do that? Do you know what would have been funnier, though? Is if they decided to pull out a JoJo quote and be like, ho ho, you're approaching me?
They weren't cultured enough to say that. But
no. Like, that's what I'd do. Because that's a Dio quote from part 3.
It was so crazy. The reason I said it, though, is because I was so shocked that there were women buying manga, and then I was like, it's my chance. And then I said, Devilman's my favorite manga.
No, you should know that females are not rational individuals, and they're just kind of awkward and weird, so you shouldn't even try to associate with them.
Oh my god, anytime I'm being honest, like, if I say something awkward to a guy will actually answer me and talk to me, have a conversation. I say something awkward to a girl, they'll just ignore me. I watched Dragon Ball Z I saw 2 discs of this Dragon Ball Z thing. I like the animation, but the story just doesn't appeal to me.
Wait, but Dragon Ball Z is one of my second least favorite Dragon Ball. Have you seen Dragon Ball, the original?
No, I haven't.
Dragon Ball is so much better.
Because I know it's on Hulu, but it's not dubbed, and I have to find time in my day to watch subbed anime.
Well, Dragon Ball is one of the series I prefer dubbed.
I need to find it dubbed. I don't know.
Well, they sell seasons of it on Amazon and eBay and stuff. So.
What sucks though is this Johnny the Homicidal Maniac collection thing that I got was a gift for me. And it's missing pages now because I accidentally lost. I just lost pages to it.
That sucks.
So, because I left it outside and the pages came out of it somehow, and then they got on the ground and rained on. But I love the art style of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
I think Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is overall better than Invader Zim, and I would have liked to have seen a cartoon of it.
Look at how much detail is in everything. Also, I like all the little writings he does on the walls and everything.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of hidden stuff in the background, like a true artist.
I still think that'll be funny if we put Johnny Knoxville as Johnny the Homicidal Maniac in Sergeant Friends, though.
A true red Russian communist hero.
I don't follow.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something other than true blue American hero. Would it be true red Russian communist hero? What would it be?
I mean, if it's a true red Russian communist, that's no hero, boy. That's a villain.
How would Sarge react to how Gen Z millennials want to live in a socialism?
Well, he'd hate it. I mean, I hate it, but he'd hate it even more than I do.
What would he do? Do you think he'd kill people?
Maybe.
What's Mexico? What do they believe in?
That's a good question.
I think that whenever I imagine Mexico, I imagine it's just like a couple towns,
I always, whenever I imagine Mexico, I always imagine it's mostly just desert and then a couple towns of big fat Mexican people eating tacos, and there's no laws. Like, I just always imagine if somebody has a problem, they just kill the other person. I can't imagine they're a civilized society.
I'm leaving all of this in, by the way.
Yeah.
This absolutely has to stay in.
Serious, but that's really what I think of when I think of Mexico. What is Mexico like? I have no idea. Also, I imagine they have a lot of wrestling.
You ever seen Mucha Lucha? That's Mexico in a nutshell.
Are they all alcoholics?
Of course.
Am I wildly racist? Let's find out.
Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z. No, but, like, I honestly think when people start with Dragon Ball Z, that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. Because Dragon Ball Z, for me, is the most boring Dragon... It's the most boring of the first three. Dragon Ball Super is worse.
I love the art style, though. The art style is awesome.
Oh, me too. And here's the thing. Dragon Ball Z has the best moments. All of the coolest moments are in Dragon Ball Z. But most of the series is just like most of Z, it's just like, hey, there's a new villain. He's stronger than Goku. Goku's gonna train, get a new form, fight him, and defeat him, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, like, everybody says that Goku is, like, the most powerful hero of all time. It's just because whenever somebody's about to fight him, he trains for, like, 1,000,000 years.
Yeah.
Like, if he just straight up fought people without training, he'd be annihilated every time.
Yeah. Now, granted, I will say, I do still like Dragon Ball Z, don't get me wrong. I like Z. But, like, for me, Z is, like, it's my second least favorite. My favorite is Dragon Ball, and then my second favorite is Dragon Ball GT, which is funny because Dragon Ball GT is the one that everybody else seems to hate. Like, here, let me show you something. I'm going to pause the recording real quick. It is now. Alright, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's...
I got a cool video and you guys did it.
Yeah, so that's the Para Para brothers, and people often use that as an example of why GT is bad, but I fucking love that.
Awesome. It was like the Pied Piper scene where he's playing the flute and all the ogres start dancing.
Yeah, but like, so GT is just filled with like a bunch of weird shit like that, and I fucking love it.
Do you think we would be considered nerds or just losers?
I don't know. I don't really care what I'm considered. Like,
Yeah,
I think the concept of nerd culture is the stupidest thing, and I know I said that in my response to you, but, like, nerd as a concept is fucking retarded to me now.
Well, it's a lot of people who kind of celebrate being pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, I like the aspect of, like, video games and watching movies and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, cool. But then when it's like, when they're like, when they're talking about how bullies are terrible and how, like, in high school they got wedgies or whatever, I don't know. They just come across as weak a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of pathetic.
Well, humanity's just weak and kind of pathetic nowadays.
Yeah. If there's anything that I think is going downhill, I think it's probably that. I don't know. I don't want to say necessarily masculinity is going down because, like, a lot of groups of people love masculinity, like Berserk fans, Doom fans, and they're like in sort of a nerd culture.
But in mainstream culture, masculinity is definitely on the decline.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very bad...
I have a theory that masculinity is almost going to become like an underground culture, like being gay was.
No, it absolutely kind of is. And I hate that because masculinity, I think, is actually very important. I do think you can take it overboard with trying to be too macho. I definitely think that is possible.
Yeah, we know, because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Berserk, and Doom, they're the machoists, and they're awesome.
No, but there are some people who get a little full of themselves and stuff like that. They get really cocky and aggressive. I get that that's bad.
Yeah.
But, like, there's nothing wrong with being confident and being manly. There's nothing... I think that those are both wonderful things.
I don't know. I exercised... I don't currently exercise because I kind of just... Well, to be frank, I'm just plain lazy. But when I was playing Doom and when I was reading Berserk are the times in my life I exercised the most. Like, those were good motivation. But the thing is like, there's not a lot of motivation to be fit anymore, really, in TV. Like, all movies have, like, little boy protagonists or female protagonists now. There's no real thing encouraging people to be masculine anymore.
It's true. And, you know things like the military are, like, they constantly are, like... So do you know how women got into the military in the first place?
How?
They lowered the training standards. Because women couldn't meet the same standards men could. That's not even a joke. That's true.
That's so stupid. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's sexist that women aren't there. It's like, no, women are just weaker.
Well, no, like,
it's true.
Well, the thing is like, so there has been and there never will be a female Navy SEAL unless they lower the criteria. Because the female body is physically incapable of passing the Navy SEAL test. Many have tried. And they don't have a policy saying they can't. And they
You know what I think is the best female hero type character I've ever seen?
What's that?
Casca from Berserk. I thought she was a great character because they showed that she couldn't do all that a man can, but she tried twice as hard.
Yeah.
You know? That's great. I feel like that's a great inspiration for women instead of Captain Marvel just being good at everything for no reason.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's plenty of good, like, even strong female characters. There's good ones, like Ripley from Aliens.
Yeah. Get away from her, you biscuit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the line exactly. I recall it. But no, the problem with a lot of, like, forced, like, oh, we need a female protagonist, we need this, we need that. The problem is that they don't write characters that make sense as good females. Like, they write them as if they're men and then just put a vagina on them, essentially. If you want a good female character, play to female strengths. Because women have strengths. They're better at us than some things. Play to that. Make them...
Like, I think women have incredible endurance.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at how easily they can take a punch, but...
Yeah, I've knocked people down in my day. Just crumpled them.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like the problem is if you want to write a good character, you have to play to the strengths and weaknesses of the type of character you're writing, be it male, female, or whatever.
Miki, I felt like, was a strong character, not like physically, but I don't know, like in Devilman Crybaby, I think is kind of what I'm... Well, no, even in the manga, she's a strong woman because she defends herself. She's like not physically strong, but she's mentally strong and prepared. Like she tries to fight against the people that are bullying her, and then in the end of Devilman Crybaby, the one where she's finally sticking up for Devilman, and that in itself is brave. So it's good to make female characters, just not when they're men, but also not a woman.
Well, you know, another thing with Miki, I actually think so in the 70s version, I think that's my favorite version of Miki overall. Mm-hmm. In the anime, because in the 70s anime, there's a scene at the end where she literally stands up to God when God's fighting Akira, or fighting Devilman, but you know, because remember the 70s series is different. But although I will give Crybaby credit, I think Crybaby did the best version of Miki's death.
Yeah, I don't know. Her death in Amon Apocalypse of Devilman was... Well, no, Devilman Crybaby was her saddest death, but Amon Apocalypse Devilman, her death, I would say, is scarier, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, I think it works better as sad, because Devilman at its core is a tragedy.
Yeah. I just felt like it was... I felt like Amon Apocalypse of Devilman, her death was more impactful to me, because... I don't know, Devilman Crybaby made me cry, that scene, but I didn't cry in Amon Apocalypse of Devilman, but I still kind of like it more, just because it gave me sort of like a... gut feeling, you know?
Well, I feel like they went more for disturbing in Amon Apocalypse Devilman.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, knowing the character and then seeing that happen is kind of heartbreaking. But not enough to make me cry. What was her death like in the movie? I can't even remember.
I don't know. The movie is... Like, the movie's very forgettable.
I like the part where they walk into the room and the guy is everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? The one room where the guy is the room.
I don't remember that.
The guy was like a giant head or something, and there was like his meat was all over the walls.
I've only seen the movie once, so...
I like the CGI fights, even though they look terrible, but they were entertaining.
Like, I don't hate the movie. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I used it as a plate for my bread. For my sandwich.
Yeah, but I think, didn't you hate the movie more than I did? Because my review was like, it's okay.
When I first watched the movie, I hated it. I watched it again, though, recently, and I was like, it's got good qualities.
Like, for me, it's just like, there's better versions out there.
Also, Ryo being, like, Akira's protector was kind of weird.
Well, that's kind of what they were trying to set him up as in, like, the early chapters of the manga.
Yeah, but in the movie, like, he seems like an obsessive gay guy.
In the movie?
Yeah, in the movie, he seems like almost like he seems overly obsessive over Akira and like fights anybody who slightly wrongs Akira.
Well, in all honesty, if people were using the movie and saying it was a yaoi, I'd agree with them more if that's the case with personality-wise, you know?
Yeah. Watch it again and like notice that he's kind of like it's more obvious that he likes it.
I mean, we already know from the start that he does, you know?
Yeah.
Because we've read the manga and we've seen the adaptations, so...
Yeah. When I watch, but like he cuts off a person's fingers, but then Akira puts his fingers back on the person and holds them there so that he keeps them or something. And then there's the part where he beats up all those bullies that are bullying Akira. I don't know. Also, in the movie, doesn't Akira play track in the movie also?
Maybe.
Yeah, Akira and Ryo both play track, I think.
Okay, well, like, you know the relay race thing is actually a callback to the Devilman Lady manga. Like the one in Crybaby?
Oh, is it? They do it in Parasite.
Yeah?
In Parasite, they do track, I think. Wait, let me remember. I need to know if I'm lying right now. Do they play track in Parasite? I think they do.
Okay.
I think they do.
Well,
I can't remember.
I've only seen, like...
I remember in Parasite, he grabs the girl's boob.
I've only seen, like, the first, like, 6 episodes of Parasite. I remember they got to the scene where they're in the bathroom and Miki's like, let me try to give you an erection. And I'm just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, and that weirded you out, which is ironic considering everything you watch now is a million times weirder than that.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, look at Yorotsuki Doji. That's so much weirder.
Though, wouldn't that be terrible? Would that be weird if your hand was alive and it did stuff like that? Like, it would be weird, but would it be like... Would it be
for those of you watching those of you watching at home, Corbin is looking up into the corner, pondering with great intent with his deep thinking.
What I'm saying, like, would that put you off in real life?
I don't know. I think I don't know. That's a strange situation.
I don't know if it would put me off.
Okay.
Anyways, some other topic.
Are you looking forward to Big Shark?
Big Shark?
Yeah.
Is that the Tommy Wiseau movie or something?
Yes. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah. I liked the one movie that his friend made that had him in it. Best Friends, but also Fiends or whatever.
Yeah. No, Best Friends is a great movie.
Yeah. But that's just because it wasn't made by him.
Yeah, but I love that movie. I love all the twists.
Well, The Room, I felt like if he executed it, if somebody else made the movie but still like used his script, I think it would have been a good movie.
Well, they couldn't have just used his script as is. They still would have had to change it because there's a lot of things that don't make sense.
I think what he wanted the movie to be isn't what he made, but what he wanted the movie to be, I think would have been a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, the movie points out that all women are evil, so, you know, a good message. I can get behind that.
Also, I feel bad when he killed himself.
Yeah, me too. I did the first time I saw it, I'm like, that's pretty sad.
Yeah. Also, I think, like, that does happen in real life. Like, somebody's best friend being with their girlfriend and them killing themselves. That happens.
I'm so happy to have you as my best friend, and I love Lisa so much.
Yeah. Sometimes they overdo it.
Well, you know what's funny? They mentioned that they're best friends for a lot in the movie, but like you don't actually see them together until like the second half of the movie.
Tommy Wiseau is more of a tell and not show kind of person.
Yeah.
I guess.
But Lisa, I'm your future husband, because he just doesn't know about the word fiance, so he just says, "But you're my future wife."
Where is he from?
Poland.
Didn't they find out what?
Poland.
Poland.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
because there was this documentary.
Why was he honest about not being from America?
Because he's proud to be American, you know, and I respect that. I
think he's a criminal. I think he's like a criminal, and that's how he made all that money.
I mean, I'm not going to make those allegations because I don't want to get sued, and Tommy's a very litigious individual.
Okay, let's say, this is my theory about what happened. I have a theory that Tommy Wiseau is a drug lord who made a lot of money selling drugs, so he doesn't talk about where he came from because he sold a lot of drugs. That's my theory.
I mean, a lot of people don't. A lot of people think that the room was a front for money laundering. And nobody knows where he got his money, so.
But that's my theory, though, since those are two things that are very suspicious about him. Is that one, he came from another country, and two, he had a lot of money that he doesn't say where he got. The thing
about Poland, that is also only. Let me be clear. That's only according to a documentary crew, and that's not 100% confirmed. And that documentary crew did get sued by Tommy, but then they won the suit, and Tommy actually had to pay them.
So Tommy don't like accusations, I guess. So
yeah, that's why I'm like, let's
exaggerations. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I like how that's just a word you made up on the spot, but.
What was it I said that in?
Now, Mr. Clancy Brown, what are your comments on these exaggerations that you are in fact a crazy person who thinks he's the real Mr. Krabs? I
genuinely forgot the words, but I said whatever.
Yeah, and then, well, I think that's absolutely absurd, boyo. And I think anybody who makes those claims is after me secret Krabby Patty formula.
That video was a whole idea bombshell of mine.
I fucking love The Problem with Pedro.
Yeah, that one, I think that one's one of my best episodes that I was involved. Like, I don't know, I think that's where I did my best.
Yeah. Where do you think I did my best?
Yeah, honestly, that is accurate to who I am. I try not to be, but sometimes I'm just like, I gotta genuinely know what somebody thought of this thing I did. Yeah. I don't know why I'm like that.
In your opinion, what is the best performance I've done as Sergeant Bastard?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I'm not trying to be a narcissist. I'm just curious what your opinion is on that.
Oh, okay. What was the best Sarge video?
Yeah, or any character I portray. You know, I'm just curious, because I agree with you that Problem with Pedro was your best performance as Pedro.
Your best performance as Sarge?
Probably Breaking Bags, right?
That, or I think you did pretty good with the Cannibal one.
Cannibal Island, that's a good one too.
Yeah, I think you did pretty good on that one.
Oh,
I remember watching that recently, and some stuff you said made me laugh pretty hard, but I can't remember what it was.
I can't believe we found a cannibal. I can't believe we found cannibals on a cannibal island. Yup.
Yup. Wait, what would Pedro... I'm going to do a Pedro voice, and I want you to tell me if he sounds different or the same. Hello, this is Pedro.
Yeah, you can still do it all right.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's a little different, but it's not noticeably different. Like, because you know how... I mean, my bastard voice has evolved over time.
What did you think of my singing earlier?
It was loud.
Yeah. I opened it up, I found the girl.
Miko.
Yeah, Miko.
The anime did a weird thing with her.
Oh.
Yes, the anime did a weird or Crybaby did a weird thing with her.
Yeah, it's stupid because in the manga, her thing is that she becomes horribly ugly and it's a giant burden. But then in the anime, she becomes amazingly hot and it does great things for her.
Yeah. Well, you know, you know, the Miko in the anime is actually the Miko in Crybaby is actually based off a character from a different Gonagai manga. She's based off a character. Yeah, so the Miko in Crybaby is actually based off a character from Susanoo, which is a different Gonagai manga.
So why don't they just, copy the manga that it's based on? It seems kind of, dude. That anime watching it now is kind of disappointing. Because when I first watched it, I was like, wow, this is an amazing introduction to Devilman. But now when I look back at it, I'm like, this isn't a good introduction to Devilman because it doesn't represent it very well. And I think you'd want an accurate representation of what the anime, of what it is. Not
here's the thing.
Inspiration of it.
I'm not a fan of the bad adaptation argument. I'm not going to say that it has to be like a completely accurate. I don't think that makes it good or bad. But I think that the way they did it, the execution, was bad enough that it's like, first off, it's an insult to the original, and second off, it's just kind of rushed and feels kind of sloppy.
They dumbed it down. They gave it a different animation quality, which I feel is disrespectful to Go Nagai because his animation is very unique on its own, and I don't think you need to change it.
Well, that's what I love about like all the other versions is despite the fact that they each have their own stylistic like changes, they all stay
They're
at least.
Still inspired.
Yeah, they're still faithful to an extent.
Yeah, like the 70s and the OVA, I feel like both represent the manga's animation. I mean, not animation, but
the manga's art style.
Yeah. Sometimes I just forget the words to things. I'm sure you've never picked up on that.
Oh, no, never. I never do that, ever. I don't know. I feel like, the problem, like, and the thing that drives me nuts is the fact that the art style is, like, the thing everybody likes the most about Crybaby.
What do you think of Pearl Harbor?
Never seen it.
No, I meant the tragedy.
But for those of you watching at home, I'm going to keep using that phrase. He was holding up a case of the movie Pearl Harbor when he asked me that, so... Just so you're aware, I didn't immediately think of the movie when he mentioned it, despite, other than the fact that he was holding the movie up.
That would be like, what'd you think of 9/11? I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I don't think there's a movie called 9/11. There probably is.
I think it would be funny, though. So somebody's like, or the Titanic. What did you think of the Titanic? Oh, I thought it was a delight in theaters. I'm sure glad that didn't happen.
You know, do you know there was like this like really bad like 9/11 bootleg video game?
Do you get to play as the terrorist?
I don't remember. But
I think it would be great if you could play as the terrorist.
I don't think you do. But it's like it's a pop station. Do you know what a pop station is?
No.
It's one of those old bootleg Chinese consoles that's like an LCD screen. So you know like those really shitty like Sonic games they used to give out in like Burger King kids meals?
Oh yeah.
It's like that, but it's 9/11.
It's like that, but it's 9/11.
Yeah, so it's like those Tiger Electronic games, but 9/11.
Name your 10 favorite presidents. Go. I can say my top 5.
There's literally only like. First off, I find it unfair because I didn't grow up with most of them. You know what I mean? Like most of them, like I only know the historically like sugar-coated
and
version.
like in the future, Donald Trump's gonna be portrayed as like being Hitler through history, so they're not very accurate.
Well, like here's the thing. He's my favorite one in my lifetime.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I don't care at all about anything he's done really, but I find him insanely entertaining.
Well, like the thing is he's definitely like. First off, comparing him to the other two that I remember, he's miles better. Now that's not hard to beat. Bush and Obama were both terrible, but
I think Bill Clinton was. I don't think Bill Clinton was in my time. When was Bill Clinton?
90s. I think like 98.
Bill Clinton, from what I've seen, he looked like he was cool before he became president.
I doubt. Look, I'm not going to go into all this on the channel right now, but here's the thing. The stuff with Jeffrey Epstein and all that, that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg with the stuff with those people.
Oh, yeah. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, I think, did kind of have something to do with that.
Well, and the thing is if you look into, like, a lot of stuff, like, the whole concept of, like, a global elite and secret society, Alex Jones has been proven right a lot these last couple of years, and I don't like that because it scares me. I've actually started following him again because he's actually being proven right left and right here, and that scares me.
I had a friend of mine I was talking to, and he said he felt that I was so paranoid about the government and...
You should be.
And statistics. He said that he felt I was so paranoid about the government and statistics that I should genuinely get mental help. But I feel like it is kind of... There is a lot going on that nobody knows.
There's a lot of shady shit going on behind the scenes. There is a global elite.
I do think that it's a possibility that our statistics aren't true.
Well, like, so here's the thing. You ever heard of the Great Reset?
I think so.
It's a real plan for actual world domination that is being planned out behind the scenes. It's a real thing, and real people have been mentioning it. Like, Justin Trudeau mentioned it. One of Biden's advisors says that Biden's all on board for it. And essentially what they want to do is, the goal of the Great Reset is by 2030, they say, you will own nothing, you will have nothing, and you will be happy.
That's 1984.
Yeah, absolutely. The Great Reset is fucking scary, dude. Like, so, basically by 2030, they want to have it so that, like, we cut back on, like, all sorts of personal freedoms. There's no such thing as private property. Meat is only something you can have on special occasions. Like, they want to restrict everything. But, like, I don't know how much of this I'm leaving in. I might leave some of it in, I might not. It just depends on how daring I'm feeling when I upload the video. But
you've uploaded videos that talk about the same stuff.
I know. But, like,
I don't know. I thought it was really great though that you were finally like you were talking about politics on your channel. I thought it was great.
And here's the thing. I stopped caring about like what I talk about for the most part. And
a lot of times I don't know. I don't want to say I think my opinions would change the way people perceive me as a person. So I try to leave them out.
I stopped caring about how people perceive me after the whole after the Rio thing. I'm like, you know what? There's no winning with these people. I'm just gonna say what the fuck I want, and they can deal with it.
Yeah, people are putting their idea of morality before logic now. You want to know something? When I was 10, I thought Godzilla was real.
I mean, he is. If you've never been to Japan, you can't prove he's not.
Because I watched the Godzilla movie, the first one, and I thought it was an actual documentary.
It is. I've seen it. Gojira.
You can't fake that. You can't fake that.
Gojira.
Look at everybody at home. Look at the original Godzilla. Not your. Watch the American one. It's the actual documentary, because why would the Englishman lie to us?
Exactly. So, dude. Yeah. So there was this girl that I used to work with. She was one of the stupidest people I knew. And she legit asked me one time if movies, like if someone dies in a movie, if they die for real. And that was a serious question she was asking me. And when
who is she? Who is this person?
She was a girl who came over here from Africa. And the only reason I bring that up
Africa!
The only reason I bring that up is because she made absolutely everything about race half the time. She would make it all about, like, she was very stupid. She would, like, say a bunch of really dumb things. But no, anyway, so she said that, and I told her, no, obviously not. How do you think actors die in multiple movies? Do you think they just come back to life and die again? Do you think that movies are always, like, historical recreations? So, like, do you think, like, when Godzilla attacks, that actually happened? Do you think that when fucking aliens invade cities and shit in movies, that happened and we just don't see it happen in real life? And then she's like, no, I guess not. I kind of thought not. But now that you've confirmed it for me, I'm disappointed. I'm like, why are you disappointed that people are not dying?
Because they're whiteys. Whiteys gotta pay him in his baby hands.
But yeah, she's fucking stupid. The funny thing is, though... But the thing that's really funny is I also had, like, this weird, like, attachment to her. Like, I had this weird, like back and forth with her where I had, like, sort of this weird love-hate. Like, for whatever reason, it was fun. We had banter back and forth. I was the only one who could banter with her like that. If most people talked to her the way I talked to her, she'd get really mad. But I would constantly belittle her and insult her and she just loved it. She thought it was fucking great. Like, I'm not even joking. It was weird. It was a weird relationship, but I do kind of miss her. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad we're gonna be able to do Sergeant Friends again. I missed that.
Yeah, we need to do more. You haven't done that Bogan Ball, like, in the Fireball art yet, have you?
No, I was, because I need you to send me a text of, like, everything you want in it.
Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be quite a few things I need.
Yeah.
Basically, I need the entire episode. Like, I need the Ghost of Beaner. I need,
you'd have to send me pictures again, because I don't have those anymore.
Bet you didn't even chisel that football.
What? Chisel that football? Is that from something?
Kind of. It'll take a minute to explain, so I'm just not going to.
Our football footballs made of real leather? Because they're called pigskins.
Well, pigskins wouldn't be leather.
Well, Leatherface doesn't wear real leather. He wears human skin.
So, here's the thing. Old school footballs were made from pigskins. Like, legit, they were. Modern
what are they made from now?
Some synthetic shit, I don't know.
Why is it immoral to toss a dead pig around?
Well, the thing is you can still get old school footballs. Like, they're just more expensive.
Do they rot?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Could you imagine if your leather jacket started rotting?
Did you know that condoms used to be made of sheepskin?
You don't know. If you don't know, now you know, nice friend.
You know that in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like, you know Hulu removed all the episodes that had blackface, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I got to see him before they took them off.
Well, that's why I have the DVDs, you know?
Now I can't. Now if I rewatch it, I can't see those episodes, I guess.
And some of those are actually really good, like the ones with like the Lethal Weapon stuff. Those are really funny.
Yeah, those ones are awesome. They really got rid of. They could have just got rid of specific scenes. I don't.
Well, the Lethal Weapon ones, they would have had to cut out almost all of the Lethal Weapon movie. Any scene where Mac was playing the black guy.
They could have just put pixels over his face.
I still wouldn't have been in favor of it. I think that they should have just left it as is, because first off, it was literally a commentary on whether or not blackface was offensive, and it was actually.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying, like, if they were going to censor it in some way, they could have just, like, actually censored it instead of taking off the episode and not letting you watch it at all.
Well, that's what they did with one of the episodes of The Office that had blackface in it. They just
and they did that with South Park because of the freaking. They showed the Prophet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Because that just means the terrorists get to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, South Park can insult Christianity all they want. They can insult Mormons all they want. But insulting a Muslim, that's too much.
Well, that's why I love that scene in episode 201 where Jesus is talking about, you can't make fun of Muhammad, he's a religious figure. It's Jesus saying that, and then Buddha starts snorting coke, and he's like, Buddha, don't snort coke in front of kids! Because the point they were trying to make is how hypocritical it was, you know?
Honestly, I'm at a point where I don't know. Religion bugs me a little bit.
Well, I get why. I don't like zealotry, but I also don't believe in, like, you know, persecuting people based on their religion. Like, I think both are bad.
I just think it's, like, stupid to say, like, oh, I don't believe in this specific part of my religion because it's offensive. And it's like, then don't believe in your religion at all. If your religion believes in something that you don't agree with, then why would you still follow it?
Well, that's a good point. A lot of people are like that, where you especially run into it a lot with Islam.
Or they try to explain it in their heads in a way that's really convoluted.
Yeah. Like, granted, here's the thing. I don't consider myself an atheist, but I also don't really believe in organized religion. Because I think organized religion is one of the, like... Because the thing is, it's like...
I believe that I believe that there could be a God, but I don't believe that we would have any understanding of it or any knowledge of it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that something we just can't possibly know for sure. We can't...
I don't think there's any earthly evidence that God exists, is what I'm saying. I don't think it's something we could prove any time.
Well, physically, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that there's anything that you can use to physically...
I don't think that, like, God came down and talked to us. Like, that, I think, is impossible in my head. Like, I know that might sound... I don't know if that sounds silly or not, but I think it's just... I don't think humans are lucky enough for something like that.
I mean, I don't think it's happened anytime soon. I don't know if it's happened before. Because, again, that's something that I just don't know.
Also, I think it's kind of weird that evidence of religion only goes back... like 4,000 years.
I don't know. I think that that's one of those things that's kind of complicated. That's why I don't really know how I feel on the whole thing, because there are certain things that I'm like... For me, it's mostly, like, emotional or, like, feelings and shit like that, like, when it comes to that sort of thing, so I don't think there's any rational explanations you can use for it, and I think that that's why I don't fully subscribe to the idea of, like, religion either.
Well, for me, it's kind of just something where I feel like people try to believe in something just because they want to feel better, but I think it's better to try and find happiness from realistic things, like trying to find happiness but still be realistic.
But, like,
you know what?
I get what you're saying, but I also think that religion is good in some ways, because it does give people a moral framework, and when you take it away, you end up with what we have now, which is a society that's completely in the shitter. Because
I don't know. I don't know what you would think of this, but I personally don't believe in an objective morality, but I do believe that it's important for us to find a morality so we can coexist.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't necessarily believe in objective morality either, but I'm saying without a unified moral framework in any way, shape, or form, we become very divided and hate each other, and we get violent. We become degenerates, which I'm not necessarily against in some regards.
The thing that always upsets me is when people say, like, you're aggressive and argumentative and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but I'm not beating you up, am I? Like,
I mean, it's true.
I don't know. Like, it's so weird that people are like, you're not very moral, but it's like, I'm not murdering you right now.
Yeah, like...
I feel to be moral.
I don't know, but that's one of the things that I'm very, like, I don't think that's an answer I'll ever really have, with religion. I don't think that's something I'll ever really have a full answer for.
I don't know, an idea... For some reason, I have, like, this weird idea that when I die, I'm going to live as someone else.
So reincarnation.
There's no logical reason for me to believe that. Like, there's no evidence that anything like that is even possible.
Well, here's the thing.
I just feel like that's what's going to happen.
Well, here's the thing. We don't really fully understand how consciousness works, I don't think. So, I mean, theoretically, your consciousness could, let's say, go into the earth and then come out in the grass and then, I don't know, go into the cows.
I don't know, because I think that I'm my brain, and I feel like when that rots, there's not going to be a me anymore.
No, I think that's the scientifical consensus. But
I think when I die, though, I'm still going to be like alive in the sense that I'm still going to be able to think. I don't think my brain's going to turn off just because I died. I think I'm still going to be able to think until my brain fully rots.
That's an interesting theory.
I just think I'm slowly going to deteriorate, and like everything's going to slowly go away. But also, they say that like the thing that like how they made a drug out of like the stuff that makes you dream or whatever. I don't know what that stuff is called that makes you dream. Do you know what it's called?
Not right off.
But apparently, like when you die, a lot of that is released. So, and like so much that it would be like forever, because it's only a little bit when you dream. So if it's a lot when you die, I imagine like that's probably why when a lot of people die for like a short period of time and they come back to life, they say that there's a heaven, or they say they went to hell, or they say that whatever afterlife they believe in, and it's contradictory because everybody else has a different experience and they die for some reason. So I think it's just because of the dream thing.
I mean, that's...
If I die, I might just live like a full another life.
Yeah. I don't know, like the thing is, we just don't know about like what happens after death. I think that's always going to be a mystery. And if there is something after death, we'll find out when we die, unless, of course, we have no memory of life or anything. Or if there's nothing after death, we won't find out. Period. So, you know what I think is really funny? The fact that you're like, oh, while Fugitive Red Eye's gone, I'm going to try to upload more. And then I uploaded more while I was quote-unquote gone than you did.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, once I started uploading again, I think you probably saw that coming the second I'm like, hey, I'm going to start uploading again, but I'm just going to, like, be less social.
Yeah, I uploaded like how many I think I only uploaded like 10 videos since you've been gone.
But granted, that was still more than you usually do.
Yeah, I guess. Dude, what did you think of those really bad what were they called? Those what was that thing I was using, the app I was using to make animations? What did you think of
Plotagon.
Yeah, what did you think of my Plotagon videos?
They were pretty funny.
I would call them Plotagon. I thought that sounded better. I don't know if I stopped doing them though because I felt like they were unfunny and I don't know.
I definitely think that they could have been better if I'm being perfectly honest with you, but I got a couple chuckles here and there.
I thought the first one I really liked the first one I did.
Yeah.
The one where the guy's just abusing his wife.
Yeah. It's funny. No, but I think it's funny how you're just like, Fugitive Red Eye stealing my ideas, which, I mean, you're not wrong. That's exactly what I was doing, but...
Yeah, I made a full video of it.
I know. I mean, you're not wrong.
but you're not like stealing. It's more like, and if anything, I've stolen like a lot of stuff from you. I think.
No, but like you were doing those, and I'm like, hey, I should do something like that. And I don't know. Like I thought that when you were doing Plotagon, I'm like, you know what, I should incorporate that into Sergeant Friend somehow. And then I'm like, you know what, I never explained why Niles isn't actually on the show, even though he was in the scam baiting calls, which are like kind of sort of canon.
I think I'm good at video ideas. I'm just not good at executing them very well.
I could see that.
But did you even watch my videos where I played AI Dungeon?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of those?
I thought those were pretty good.
Do you think I should keep doing those?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
You should do them. You need to play AI Dungeon.
Okay. Yeah, like
it's on computer and on app, so. Super easy.
You know what's funny? I got less controversy for my political videos than I did for the Rio videos.
You did what?
People got more mad at me for the Rio videos than the political videos. The political videos, the political videos are usually well received.
People take entertainment more seriously than politics, really.
Yeah, which I get it, but I also think that because of the way things have been getting crazy, and the fact that the economy's probably going to tank here in a little bit, and things are going to go to shit.
What I think is crazy though is people disagree with politics, like Gen Z and millennials, I don't think care about any side in politics, really. I think they have, like, this idealized liberal perspective that they get from movies and TV, but they don't actually, like, invest themselves into the actual politics of it.
Well, the problem is classical liberalism has kind of been dying and been replaced by, like, woke garbage. Classical liberalism was a good thing.
I prefer classical liberals over modern conservatives, but
here's the thing: modern conservatives actually basically are classical liberals, because the right is actually become a lot more encompassing. There's a lot more people on the right wing that are like just kind of normal.
I don't know. When it comes to because I watched a lot of like liberal stuff when I was younger that I still agree with. I just don't think it's represented with modern politics.
Mm-hmm.
But stuff like George Carlin, Amazing Atheist, like stuff like they believe.
Well, Amazing Atheist is kind of shit now.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he does now. What does he do now?
I don't know. I stopped watching him like a couple years ago, and I'm just like, yeah.
I remember when I did watch him, I really agreed with what he said. But Onision was one of the things where I used to believe a lot of stuff he said, but I don't believe it at all anymore.
Well, here's the thing: I have found that I definitely identify more with conservatism than I used to. I'm like, for instance, I'm against abortion. I'm pro-gun.
It's like I can't be conservative no matter like how much I disagree with modern liberals, because a lot of stuff that conservatives stand for I just really disagree with.
Well, same.
But
that's why. But I'm like, that's why I consider myself more libertarian. Like, I'm all about personal rights. That's where I stand. And I'm definitely.
Oh yeah, when I took the political test, it said I was like libertarian, but it said I also had some conservative. You know,
well, yeah.
I was like in the middle of everything.
Well, that's fine, because like the thing I think is there's extremes on both ends, but the problem is the left has gone so far crazy with the woke garbage, everyone else seems normal by comparison.
And it's crazy though, because I never thought I was going to see a time where people believe like this. Like I never thought people could be this cartoonish.
Well, the thing that makes me upset is the left, like liberals, Democrats, they used to be the ones who wanted free speech, but now they're the ones who want to restrict speech.
I think a lot of liberals, though, are people who are like me, but never really grew up.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
Well, but like a lot of like a lot of people who still identify as liberal, like classical liberals, I think that those people are normal people, and I agree with them on a lot of things. I myself am definitely, like I said, more libertarian than I am liberal, but I do have liberal and conservative tendencies too. Libertarian is definitely where I'm most fit, because I'm all about personal freedom and not having like the government involved in your life unless they absolutely have to be.
Also, I think like something that people say where water is something that should be for everyone, but like they don't like that water is something that you could buy at a store, but it's like, yeah, but that's not like lake water that you're buying at the store. That's like purified water. That's
well, and it's like, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah, if you like, nobody's stopping you from going to a lake and scooping up some water.
Well, and here's the thing: most restaurants will give you water for free.
Yeah, so I don't know why that's a big issue. Everybody's talking about, like, they're taking our water. It's like, they might in the future, but I don't know if that's really something you should be worried about right now.
No, I do think that everyone should prepare and stock up on emergency supplies. I think that's just always a good idea. Mm-hmm. Like, I have some emergency food myself now that I bought.
And then another thing about owning land, like, I think individuals should be allowed to own land, but I don't think all American soil should be owned by a government.
I agree. Here's the thing. I have some definite ANCAP tendencies. And if you don't know what ANCAP is ANCAPs are anarcho-capitalists. So they believe that government shouldn't exist and everything should be privately run. Like there can be private companies and there can be individuals owning things, but they don't believe in government. I think I agree with that a lot, but like I don't think it's feasible wholesale. I think that there does need to be at least a minimal amount of government.
I've been trying to figure out what I am politically a lot recently, and honestly, I think this might sound edgy, but I think I do kind of lean more towards nihilist and anarchist.
Well,
but that's just because I believe that if there are going to be laws, I think they should scientifically make sense, but I also think there should be as small amount of laws as there possibly can be.
Well, I think we both agree on that. I think that that's where we both stand on it. In all honesty, that's my... Because I think that the government shouldn't be a part of people's lives. I think that we should just be able to do our own thing, and the only time laws should be a thing is if you're infringing on someone else's rights, like, murder or kidnapping, actually doing physical harm to someone. Or stealing from someone.
Something I always hear is, like, when people talk about, like, I believe that all drugs should be legal.
Same.
Because I think people should have the right to do whatever they want to their body. I don't think that should be somebody else's right.
Yeah, see, again,
I think people who say abortion is a woman's right because it's their body, I think that's a little silly because it's not just your body.
Yeah.
To say it's your body is kind of...
Well, I agree. That's why I'm against abortion, and I always have been.
I also think, people should be allowed to get an abortion if it's early enough, but I think, there's definitely a point where, okay, this is morally wrong.
See, I think that's where we actually disagree. I don't think it's ever okay.
Yeah, but I also think, it's also awful to do because of the father.
That too. Well, let me say this. There is one specific instance where I think it's okay. If the mother or the child's life is endangered. At that point, I think it's a very good ethical question as who, if the mother would rather sacrifice the baby than herself, I think that that's an ethical question that's very hard to answer. Because if she dies, there's a good chance the baby will die anyway. Another thing that I'm also staunchly against that I used to be in favor of is the death penalty. I think the death
penalty...
No.
I thought you said squash.
No, I said staunchly. Faggot. But no, I'm staunchly against the death penalty.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I don't think it's really a human's right to say what is deserving of death.
Well, that too. But here's the thing. I'm all for self-defense. If your life is threatened and you need to take someone out to protect yourself, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think if somebody is literally a threat. But if somebody's already arrested, I don't really get what...
Exactly. If they are in captivity, the state should not have the right to put them down.
Yeah, because if they already are in a place where they can't hurt people, what difference does it make if they're alive or dead?
Now, I mean, granted, I think that we need a lot of legal system reforms, because I think there's a lot of problems with the legal system in general.
You know people defend Vlad the Impaler?
I've heard that, and I think that that's an interesting take.
But people who were in that area say that Vlad the Impaler was a hero because he wiped out crime by killing all the criminals. That's literally what Light Yagami does in Death Note.
Well, again, it's funny because, like I said, when I was younger, I used to actually agree with Light, at least for most of the series until the end. Mm-hmm. But then, as I got older, I agree a lot more with L.
You know something that doesn't make any sense in the Death Note movie?
What's that?
So, up to the point where L goes on stage, Light has only killed criminals. He hasn't killed anybody who wasn't a criminal up to that point. And then L goes up on stage and says, if you don't kill me right now, then I know that you need a name and a name and a face or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's why would he kill you if you're not a criminal? He only kills criminals. It doesn't make any sense. And then he takes this as evidence that he needs a name and a face.
Yeah.
When that doesn't make any sense.
In the anime, it makes sense because they had Lindell Taylor as a decoy.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think Elle even made it clear that if Lindell Taylor didn't die, that wouldn't prove anything. They would just move on and keep trying it to see if they got any evidence.
Yeah. Also, I think it's funny that by doing that in Death Note, Light dooms himself.
Yeah.
That's like the number one wrong thing he does in the entire anime is killing Lindell Taylor.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't kill Lindell Taylor, they wouldn't even be suspecting Japan specifically. They wouldn't be looking into the police force in Japan. Like, he really dooms himself.
And not only Japan, but specifically the Kanto region, because it was only broadcast locally. And they just got lucky.
Even if they did investigate only Japan, I still think it wouldn't take long to catch him.
Yeah.
Because Japan's not exactly a big place.
I mean, it's still bigger than, like Denmark and shit like that.
I don't know, but I'm saying, like I think if a single criminal who's going around all of America, like, traveling America, killing people, if they get caught, then I don't see why it would be different in Japan.
I agree. Places. No, that makes sense. You ever heard of Israel Keyes?
No.
He was a serial killer. He killed a ton of people. But he would plan his killings out, like, years in advance. Like, he would slowly plan it out by putting his stuff meticulously in place in, like, abandoned areas and stuff. And then he would go carry it out a couple of years later. And he would never kill in the same area twice. The only reason Israel Keyes got caught is because he got sloppy and decided, well, I haven't got caught so far, I might as well stop being so careful. That's literally the only reason he got caught.
That's funny, though. Because sometimes I feel like that, where I'm like, where I do something, I'm like, I haven't gotten in any trouble for this. And then I do something, and then I get into actual trouble. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what's something that drives me crazy, though, is when people say it's impossible to get away with a crime, and it's like, how would you know that? Because people say it's impossible to be a criminal anymore, you get arrested so quickly if you kill somebody, but it's like, there probably are tons of killers that get away with it scot-free if they cover up the evidence properly.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is there's still plenty of cold cases that have never been solved. So, I mean, I think that spits right in the face of that theory that it's impossible.
I think it's just from people not being educated on it.
Well, I think it's good if people think it's impossible to get away with a crime, because then they're less likely to commit one.
Yeah. Also, does anybody actually believe that a cop can't lie to you anymore?
If people still believe that, they're stupid.
Because, like, they say that in every movie that's not true. Also, I don't know why they would say that it's not true in a movie. It makes it harder for the police.
Maybe the people who make those movies don't like the police.
I mean, I don't like the police either. I don't like that, not because of racism and stuff, but I think, like, I don't like the police because they're people, they enforce rules that I disagree with, and I think if you're the kind of person who gets a job where you have to enforce a subjective kind of morality, I don't know.
Well, here's my thing. I don't like police as an institution, but I think that there are good standout police officers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to... If somebody gets the job, it's hard for me to like that person.
I understand that. I definitely understand that. Especially, again, as a libertarian, I definitely do. Like, I'm not a libertarian trademark. I'm not part of the Libertarian Party because I don't believe in political parties. I think political parties are nonsensical.
Yeah, I think it's best to be an independent.
Yeah. But from that perspective, I definitely do agree, for the most part, on police as an institution and people taking the job. But I do think that they do a lot of good, and I think it's completely unfair to say that they're all bad.
What are your 3 favorite Godzilla movies?
Godzilla 1985. That's my favorite. Then probably the original Godzilla from 1954. Probably Godzilla 2000.
You want to hear my ridiculous... Mine, you'd probably disagree. My top 3... First for me is Shin Godzilla. I thought Shin Godzilla was the best one.
I still need to watch that. I have the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet.
My second favorite, though, is the 1998 Godzilla.
Well, I don't hate that one. I actually think that one gets more hate than it deserves. I think it's actually pretty decent, but I don't think it's like a good Godzilla movie.
And then my third favorite is the original Godzilla.
Yeah, I still need to watch Shin Godzilla.
You still haven't watched that movie?
No, I have the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it.
It's awesome because Godzilla's portrayed as like an actual like horror monster. Like he actually like leaks blood out of his gills. And like he has like these weird like creepy looking like derpy eyes, and he has like and I don't know, it's just pretty good. And his atomic breath is terrifying because he opens up his jaw in like a predator way, and then fires off the most like never mind.
You are one ugly motherfucker.
That's what somebody should have said when he opened up his mouth like that.
Yeah.
Well, no, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the president of America, like in The Simpsons, and like they show his perspective on the news.
They should have had that in Shin Godzilla and been like, "You are one ugly motherfucker." Stay cool, bud boy.
Do you think that would, if Godzilla was destroying Japan, do you think that would be on the news in every country?
Absolutely.
Just all the time?
Absolutely.
I think if there was like a Godzilla-like monster destroying Japan, I think that would be on the news 24/7, even in America.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a
And
giant
then
monster.
I think there would be like a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists, like Alex Jones is like talking about how there's going to be an entire army of them coming to America and everything.
Well, again, with how shockingly he's been proven right lately, maybe he'd be proven right on that too, and then we'd have an army of Godzillas.
Yeah, that's what happens. Oh.
What, were you gonna spoil something?
Yeah, I was about to spoil the movie. I was about to spoil the ending.
What, of Shin Godzilla?
Yeah.
Well, too late now.
Is it?
Well, considering you just told me that's what happens, yeah. And then I figured
out. No, it doesn't happen, but you'll see.
It will going to have happened, but it hasn't actually happened yet, actually.
No, it's not like... No, they stopped... Gosh darn it, I can't say anything. Never mind, I'm gonna shut up about it.
Don't worry, I'll edit down you being a moron.
Wait, do you remember in Bruce Almighty where he's making Evans say a bunch of nonsense?
Yeah, that reminds me of a Joe Biden speech.
What was the Joe Biden... Do you think Joe Biden...
I absolutely do think Joe Biden's lost it. Here, let me show you this. I assume you probably haven't seen it. You haven't seen a True Nana Shabba de Pressure, have you?
I don't know.
Okay, the recording's still going, because I'll let this play.
I remember seeing a video where he says something out of nowhere that doesn't have anything to do with what he was originally talking about. Like, he just moved on to something completely off topic, and it was weird.
Okay, here we go. Listen to this, okay?
Rock and I think it's a right for people that bad and can't care. For people that bad and can't care. For people that bad and can't care.
Okay, it's repeating the part, which I don't... That's kind of annoying. I just want the speech, damn it.
We'll need an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. True international effort to pressure.
Do you think that's because of a stutter, or do you think it's just...
That is not a stutter. You listened to him just a few years ago, and he did not have a stutter. That is absolutely not a stutter. He's definitely going senile.
Hillary Clinton definitely had problems, because she, like, would pass out and need to be put in her car.
Well, like, look, I'm not gonna fault the guy for being old, but he absolutely should not be president.
Although, I would say... I don't know. I think the presidents I don't know if the presidents should be getting older.
No, they shouldn't.
I think our world should be kind of run by people, not millennials, but like, I think the world should be run by people in like their 40s and 50s.
Yeah, well, we definitely need someone who's there mentally, physically, and able to be capable. So, I definitely think that we need to... I think it's a little bit shocking that our last two presidents have been the oldest presidents we've had.
I think it's sort of like just kind of like trying their best to cling on to old ideas.
Like, granted, I'll give Trump this. Despite how old he is, he's definitely got a lot of energy for a man who's 74, almost 75.
He's very passionate.
Yeah.
What is Amazing Atheist? Did Amazing Atheist actually say something stupid? Do you know?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was something that he did that pissed me off, and I'm just like... I don't like this content anymore, because I was still subscribed to him for a while after that, but I just, like, wasn't watching his content, because I didn't care.
He started talking about politics instead of...
Culture?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I started...
I liked him in his anti-religious days, and I liked him in his anti-SJW days, but now I don't know what he's doing anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped paying attention. You ever watch Logic?
Who?
Logic.
I don't know.
He's pretty good. He does like he mainly does like religious debunks, but he does like videos responding to religious people and like conspiracy theorists.
A lot of stuff is hard for me to watch though, because like a lot of like I'm anti-religious, but a lot of like anti-religious YouTubers, like their arguments are more about morality than logic.
No, that's why I like Logic. Logic is not about morality at all. He is about logic. That's why his name is Logic.
Yeah, I always think that's stupid. It's like God's not real because he's morally wrong. It's like that's not a good argument. That just means that God could be evil. Like, what is that?
Well, Logic will mention the whole thing about God being, like, morally wrong, but only when people say that he's loving and stuff like that, and he'll use that as, like...
Yeah.
But how can you say he's loving if he believes in infinite punishment for finite crimes?
But then people say it's like, well, that's the devil, not God. And they say, like, that's you.
No, but if you look at religion, that's not even true. It's God that puts you in hell. It's the devil that carries it out.
Yeah.
God's the one who wants you to go there.
Do you think... What does the Bible say hell is like? The gnashing of teeth or something?
I don't know. I haven't read the entire Bible.
I don't know. I can't read it. I started reading it from the beginning, and there were so many things that were just proven not to be true. He talks about, like, the stars in the sky like it's a wall. And he talks about the sun as if it's not a star. And he talks about the earth being made before light, and it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
It's just a little weird for me.
Yeah, no, I get that. Again, I find the Bible fascinating. I've just never been able to, like, sit down and read all of it.
I like to read stuff in it because of how even though I don't agree with the God in the Bible, that's my favorite God.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't understand his logic on anything. He destroys an entire city because they're having sex the wrong way. And he murders this guy's child for being evil. And it's like, why would you just kill him if he's evil? Why did you murder his children? And it doesn't.
Oh, you're talking about the Pharaoh, right? In Exodus, yeah.
Why would he kill the kids if he can kill anybody? Why wouldn't you just kill this evil dictator?
Well, think of the story of Job. Like,
and he punishes Job when Job's literally done nothing but good things for God. Like,
well, and like the whole point of that was basically to settle a bet with Satan.
Yeah, the devil totally wins in that story. The devil wins because he tricks God into being horrible. I don't understand anything I read in the Bible.
But like, there are some things in like the Book of Revelations that kind of correlate with now times. That's kind of scary. But like,
well, yeah, but also like it's arguable whether or not Jesus is even connected to Judaism. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because all evidence of Jesus as a real person says that he didn't say he was like the son of the actual God. Like, evidence of real Jesus was that he was an apocalyptian, if anything.
There we go. That got it. All right, so we've discovered the problem with the audio. I'm gonna stop moving the microphone.
A month ago. You think it's still good?
What is it?
I got this a month ago.
Is it jerky?
It's some kind of
like a Slim Jim thing.
Red hot pickled sausage.
It's probably fine.
They're good. They can be good after a month.
Yeah, dude. Pickled stuff stays good for like ever. Like not literally forever, but it stays good for a long time.
Stinks. Oh my.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
This is all horrible.
What are you talking about? This is hot.
People eat this?
Apparently. I don't like pickled meats. Pickled meats gross me out.
I like pickled pig's feet.
I don't. I had them in a snack review once, if you don't remember, and they were god-awful.
I like sardines, too.
Ew! You're just intentionally picking bad things I've had on the channel, aren't you?
I like tuna.
I like tuna.
I like canned snail.
Never had it.
I like
Chinese. If you don't know, that's a Monty Python song.
He was speaking Asian. You know, this is warming up on me.
Okay.
Dude, I can't even download the DLC for my new Fallout 3 I got for my Xbox One. The DLC just won't download.
Nice.
Waste of my money.
Oh, yeah. So, with me wanting to stream Undertale when I do stream again, I'm probably just going to stream the Xbox version now that that's a thing. Yeah, because it's free with Game Pass.
Wait, they have an Xbox Undertale?
Yeah, but I think it's only with Game Pass right now. So I downloaded it because I have Game Pass currently. But I'm going to,
Wait, did you leave in the video where I said, what's your least favorite race?
Yes, and then I started mentioning, like, races from Morrowind.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really like Argonians or Khajiits.
I like Argonians and Khajiits. They're my favorite.
I like playing.
I always can work.
I play as either Nords or Imperial. It's very basic shit. Like, I don't play as orcs or like elves or.
I don't know. In a game where they give you like these crazy options, I just feel like it would be so boring to play a humanoid character.
Right, but yet I still do.
Yeah, I don't know. I like being an orc a lot.
Do you like
Orcs are cool.
Do you like that the armor?
I love the orcs dressed like samurai in Morrowind.
Yeah. You like that the armor is like race specific in Morrowind? Like Argonians can't wear shoes or gloves.
Yeah, I love that. It was so immersive to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most immersive video game I ever played is Morrowind. I've loved it. I love it so much. The fast travel is great. The armor is great. The way the magic works in the game is great. The making potions is great. I love it. It's my favorite game of all time. It's amazing.
It's a good one. So, later today, probably in 30 minutes or so, I'm going to head out to my friend's house. We're going to watch a Neil Breen movie. You know who Neil Breen is?
Isn't he a funny director or something?
He's like the poor man's Tommy Wiseau. Like, he's Tommy Wiseau, but without the budget. So we're going to watch this movie called Fateful Findings, which has this line of dialogue where he's like, I can't believe you did this. How could you kill yourself? I can't believe you committed suicide.
It's like, is he victim blaming?
No, it's just like the acting is terrible. Like, he's supposed to be like sad about it.
How could you? It sounds like he's mad. Like he's like, man, what a jerk are you to? I can't believe you did this to me.
Call 911. Jim. Jim. How could you have done this? Jim!
How could you have done this?
I can't believe you committed suicide.
Why did he rub blood on his
committed
face?
suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
Why did you rub blood on your face? I don't understand.
I can't help you out of this one.
And why, did he shoot himself?
With all we've been through,
I don't know.
I can't pull you out of
Did
this.
he go in the garage where his car is?
And then shoot himself, yeah.
Yeah, like the movies where usually when you go to the garage with your car, you usually like use the turn on the gas, leave the car on, and like sit in this front seat or something. He just shot himself in the garage with his car.
Also, so Tommy Wiseau realizes that his audience watches his movies ironically, right?
Yeah.
Neil Breen doesn't, because his audience is really sarcastic with the way that they praise him and say that he's like a godlike director.
So it's like if
So Neil Breen actually has a huge ego because he thinks he's this great director because of his audience, so he just keeps shitting these movies out, and he thinks he's really fucking good at it.
That sounds great, actually. I kind of wish that's what Chris Chan's trolls were like.
Right? It's much.
I honestly, if Chris Chan was if trolls were just overly nice to Chris Chan for no reason, I think that would do wonders for his personality.
I think it would also be really funny.
Yeah, I would like Chris Chan. I would like it if Chris Chan. I don't know. I feel like Chris Chan knows what he is. You know.
I think he's starting to become more self-aware, but also less self-aware, if that makes sense. Because now he thinks
I feel bad for him because he's not a bad person. I think it's
he is kind of a narcissist and everything too, though.
Yeah, but I think I don't know if that's his fault.
Well, I also don't think you can always make excuses, though. You know what I mean? I agree with you for the most part. I feel bad for him. I absolutely do. But I think
he's so mentally impaired that it's not his fault. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not going to disagree with you, because I do agree for the most part, but I think that, it's a bit overboard when he tried to hit that guy with his car.
He didn't try to do that. His mom did.
Okay, fair enough. That's what I meant. But is he the one who pepper sprayed? Yeah, it was him. He pepper sprayed this guy because Sonic's arms were the wrong color or something.
Yeah, and then
I don't remember who made the joke, but it was a pretty good joke about him going back in when the Sonic movie comes out and pepper spraying the same guy for Sonic's arms being blue.
He didn't care when the movie came out.
Yeah, he's grown as a person. So. But honestly, though, that's like the only mean thing he's done in years. Christian hasn't done anything mean in like a long time other than that. So I don't get why people are making millions of videos about how awful he is.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Neil Breen. But yeah, we're also going to watch Who Killed Cap...
Neil Breen, the Mean Bean Machine.
We're also going to watch Who Killed Captain Alex. I love that movie.
Aren't like all movies from that... Where is it from?
Wakaliwood? Well, it's Wakaliwood, which is... that's what the company's called, but they're from a place called Wakali in Uganda.
Yeah, aren't like all movies like that in Uganda?
Well, those are like... There's only like a couple that I've seen, which is Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black. And they're, yeah.
I don't think they have like I don't think anybody in Uganda really has the money to make like a big budget picture.
Yeah, but I love Who Killed Captain Alex. It's such a charming movie.
In Uganda, you know, Uganda Knuckles is like a famous icon.
He is their patron saint.
It's funny though, like they have him spray painted on schools and everything.
That's funny.
I can't imagine the educational system would be very good in Uganda.
They just make sure that they teach children to make sure they know the way.
They tell them about how to gaze, they eat the poo-poo, and they spit the poo-poo into each other's mouths.
The man's anus is licked like ice cream. And even poo-poo comes out, and then they lick the poo-poo, and then they eat the poo-poo.
Those gays are filthy.
Have you ever seen that one interview where the guy goes on, or like, I don't know if it was a man or a trans whatever, like I think it was a woman that was identifying as a man or something, I don't know, but they went on and they were interviewing with this reporter, and the reporter's like, "Hello, mister, shall I call you mister?" And then he's like, "Why are you gay?" And he's like, "Who says I'm gay? You are gay." You ever seen that?
It's not. It can't be a real place. Uganda's not real.
Just like Australia.
Australia.
You know why Australia is not real, right?
Place with the British rednecks.
No, but like there's this YouTuber lawyer that I watch named Nick Rekieta, and he has this whole thing where he talks about how Australia isn't real because there's no country that funny where everything wants to kill you. It was started as a prison colony. They lost a war to emus. The country was almost burned down by a bird. Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? You are gay.
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
I don't. Why do people? You don't like Uganda Knuckles, do you?
Yeah, it's all right.
I like Uganda Knuckles. I wish it was still. I think it's funny that they're like their own race in VR chat.
Yeah. No, I thought it was funny. It wasn't like.
It makes VR chat feel like its own world though, with how many Uganda Knuckles there are and how they're all the same personality. Like it actually feels like a real culture.
Yeah, well, I was fine with Uganda Knuckles. I thought it was funny enough, but it like wasn't like one of my.
I don't know why everybody hated it so much. I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine too. I like it. It's no steamed hams, mind you.
Steamed hams. I still see steamed ham videos.
Yeah.
I don't watch them anymore though.
No, I love steamed hams and Robbie Rotten. That was another one.
Robbie Rotten.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this kid that I just found. Make sure he doesn't make a sound.
Okay.
I found something to pound. Do you watch Oni Plays?
Not really.
They're really funny. They did a video about Robbie Rotten where it's like, what would you do if Robbie Rotten doxed you? And then they go, look at this address that I just found. When I say dox, get ready to dox. Dox him, not me.
I don't know. I've never gotten really into Oni Plays. Like there's been a few clips here and there that I've seen that are like, haha, that's pretty funny.
Oni Plays, you know that's my sense of humor.
But like I wish Oni still did animations. I loved those.
Yeah. Oni Plays I like a lot just because there's not a lot of times where there's not a lot of, I don't know, just random crap humor. Just people just saying random funny stuff for no reason.
There's no LOL XD random.
Huh?
There's no LOL XD random.
I honestly, unironically miss that culture.
Yeah, I get you.
Just because I don't.
I don't know. I would love to live. I would love if the 2010s internet culture still was a thing. But that's one thing I didn't like in Undertale is like the ooh woo doggo kind of humor it had.
I don't know. It didn't really bother me.
I just it's a product of its time.
Like, I don't know. I think that the humor for the most part was funny. Like, there's only a little bit of that. Like, I like Sans' humor is some of my favorite shit. Just because, like, number one, there's bad puns.
Yeah, so bad. The funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad puns. Yeah, I like them.
No, I also really like.
I like Papyrus as a character.
Well, I also really like just like the way like he'll be like, "Hey, come on, I got a shortcut," and then he'll teleport you, and he's like, "That was a fast shortcut, wasn't it?"
The part where you go to the annoying dogs that are like ooh dogs annoys me though.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like I think like the lesser dog is funny that if you keep petting him, he just keeps growing past the screen.
Yeah, but I don't like the yippy kind of dogs that come in later, like where they're like a whole civilization of like these really annoying dogs.
I don't know. They
Like,
don't bother me.
I don't know. Did I introduce you to Call Me Kevin?
I don't know. I definitely started watching him around the time you and I started talking about it. I can't remember if you actually introduced me. Hold on. I'm going to stop this recording just to be safe.